Hello and welcome to Metal Gear Explained. Today we're diving deep down a rabbit hole into some discussions of Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater that the community has been having. And I'm entering this conversation as well, mostly just to kind of pick your brains. I want you guys to leave comments about what your thoughts and opinions about some of these topics. And I'll share some of mine as well. But let's go into it. First things first, I do have giveaways. I'm going to be giving away copies of this game consistently. All you need to do is leave a comment, and I will select winners to get themselves a copy of this game. This is not out yet. There's no release date, so I can't give away anything officially. But if you get selected, once the game is announced and released, I'll have you get that, and we'll be good to go. So, we did get tons of very cool snippets of gameplay. And before I get started, I want to kind of recap what's been going on. For those that are new here, welcome. This is a hardcore channel for Metal Gears, so hopefully nothing is over your head. I try to speak to beginners and to anybody and everybody involved. So hopefully you can digest all of this as we go. So first thing I want to talk about is the fact that this is a introduction to the series because it is officially the origin story for Snake and his whole existence and the actual series itself. Everybody in here plays a big role in the future as well, so it's pretty interesting that they chose this. It was a smart move. There's been conversations about, oh well, this game didn't need a remake. I can agree. I'm one of the first people who said that this game is a masterpiece and it's still modern. Like I can still go in here with the controls and feel decent enough. Now, is it perfect? No, they had certain things that were old school and Metal Gearish, like the shooting mechanics and stuff like that. But other than that, I mean, you can deal with it. Compare that to what some older games have, which I would have remade the first three Metal Gears, and that would be Metal Gear, which was in the 80s, then Metal Gear Solid Snake, and then Metal Gear Solid, which are the three main games that I would personally be remaking if that was my choice. And then after that, we could talk about, Metal Gear Solid 2 and all the others. So, but with that said, this is a good choice if you're just trying to introduce a new fan base and give the old folks something to get excited about, like myself. And so it was a good choice because it is a classic. And now the topic at hand, the main premise that I wanted to kind of discuss is how loyal to the first game is this game. We're going to explore that a little bit. I have a separate video that I'm going to do breaking that down. But how loyal is this game? We're about to find out. Okay. I do believe that by the time this video releases, Tokyo Game Show is less than a week away. And we're going to get official gameplay, a trailer, and we're going to get a lot of people to have hands-on. The general public will get hands-on for this game. So we're going to find out everything. I'm going to be very busy that week with all the key information. We're going to do live streams of the actual reveal. I'm going to just go down a rabbit hole for you guys that hopefully can get you as excited as I am. And again, to each his own. Everybody has their own opinions about this, but I want to kind of share my thoughts and general breakdown. So for those that don't know, Konami has been under a microscope, and not even under a bazooka microscope, if that's a such thing. I think that's a new term that came out just for them. When Hideo Kojima, the creator of Metal Gear, he's been there for over 30 years making Metal Gear, and then he ends up leaving, starting his own studio, and a great life. He's done some amazing stuff with Death Stranding, and he's done a lot of good things. But all of us, myself included, was heartbroken and couldn't believe what happened and why did he leave. And at the same time, I started really quickly realizing, as I watched all of his interviews, I really wanted to start my own studio. I really wanted to just branch out and step away from everything I've done. And he's expressed this for years, that like making Metal Gear over and over and over and over, and even in the games like Metal Gear Solid 4, calling uh calling Solid Snake old Snake and trying to make the metaphor that the series is old. He talked about that. He's like, we got to stop with the series. I want to pass it down to somebody. And while he didn't get to pass it down and he left to make his own studio, the series is beginning to start over and it's getting passed down, regardless of him being there or not, to pass it down. And so it's interesting because while that is what he wanted, it wasn't the way we all envisioned it, right? Like he had to be the one making the game. People will get upset if they hear somebody else is directing or writing or any of that stuff. And so it was a weird thing with the community. And I'm not a part of that cult or whatever it is that they threatened him to continue making Metal Gears. And he got scared and he made another one. And that's not cool, man. I'm just going to be real. But the truth is that that's how obsessed some of these fans are. And if you're watching, you're one of those, man, listen, talk to some family, get some love, some help in your life. Don't do that to developers. They're just making their careers. And sometimes, like, if you ask me to make pizza, I'm going to be very happy because I love pizza. But if I make it for 30 years and I don't make anything else, there might be a problem. So I respect Kojima for wanting to step away and do his own thing. And I enjoyed Death Stranding and I can't wait for part 2. But that's a different channel that I have that covers that stuff. But just to get back to Metal Gear, Konami has been under the light. And I've taken a lot of fire for this, but I'm happy for Kojima. And I don't know why that should get me under fire, but people just seem to absolutely hate when someone's sending love to a developer who just wants to be happy. And so originally, now after like almost 10 years, people have calmed down. They're not feeling that type of ridiculous behavior, mentality, all of that stuff. And so it makes my life easier to be honest. But this is where this remake and the conversation I wanted to have with y'all kind of unfolds. So Konami was between a rock and a hard place, and that hard place happened to be the fans who anything that they make, any announcement they make, any game, or even just a post would get scrutinized and turned into something bad. And so while I understand when you're hurt, you want to lash back out, I don't think it's respectable for people to behave in that way in life. Never mind, professionally out in public on social media or whatever. So this whole thing with Konami, there was nothing that they can do that's going to right the wrong of Kojima leaving. It's just a fact. And so I'm going to say it here. This is to be the only time because it kind of hurts. I'm saying it to myself. Kojima's not walking through that door. Kojima's not walking through that door to save any Metal Gear game for the future. And if he does, I'm so happy. Come back and quote me on this. But I would be the happiest man. But if I 100% with a 0.1% not chance, he won't come back. And we got to accept it. And now we got to hope that this remake is the starting point of what could be an amazing future for the series. Now, here's the thing. I have some videos where I break down the core of my topics that I'm going to discuss a little bit now. But I want y'all to go into those and then just see where I'm at with it. And it's about, is this a remake or a remaster? Is it okay to be this loyal to the actual game? Those are the questions that I'm asking and the questions that I want answered. Soon when Tokyo Game Show happens, we'll see the gameplay officially and I can make a better judgment on that. But from what I'm seeing, this is a true faithful remake officially, and they're not straying away and trying some creative differences. They're sticking to what it is and what it was. And I think it's because of that scrutiny and the fear of if they divert and change it a little, people will get upset. And so for me, I'm excited. I'm excited because sure, some new changes and all this cool stuff. I've made videos about things I would like in here, but if it's not in there, it's not in there. And I'm happy to go and play the remake, which is pretty much true to the original. And I have a good time with that. Do I want a new game? Sure. Is it a little bit risky? Sure. So the question is, hopefully, will this be successful or not? And now, all of these topics that I'm bringing up, I want to hear your thoughts on what you feel like Konami is doing the right thing by just staying fully loyal or not. Do you understand the sentiment of like, hey, Kojima wanted to move on anyways, and everybody's happy now? Like they broke up. It's terrible to break up, or very bad breakups. Just knows the easy way to go through that. But you know, now Kojima's doing his thing, Konami's doing their thing, and we got Metal Gear, baby. So let me know what y'all feeling, what y'all thinking, and where your thoughts are, so we can discuss this and go deeper down the rabbit hole. I hope y'all enjoyed this quick just thoughts of this whole Discord about Konami making Metal Gear games and remaking a game that's a classic already. And I do have a deep dive that I did breaking down the loyalty of this game and the frame by frames that you guys should probably check out. It'll be coming up on your screen now. Make sure you hit that giveaway down below so you could get a chance to win. I got other channels as well with giveaways, so make sure you lock in for that. All right. See you there. Peace.